had with you in June of
Go ahead.
2024, prior to you testifying, did anyone offer to play those statements to you to remind you of what you said?
No.
Did anyone give you a transcript of what you said in those statements so you could review them before testifying?
No.
They just told you, if you don't remember, just say, I don't recall, correct?
Yes.
The reality is they just wanted to play those statements. That's why they wanted you here today, correct?
Objection or speculation.
Sustained.
Okay. Let's talk about January 11th, 2015, okay? That was in the early morning hours of January 11th, 2015, right?
Wait.
You met with Detective Thorpe. in the
Oh, yes.
Early morning hours of January 11th, 2015. Okay. And you've stated you went to that meeting, you went voluntarily to clear your name, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you met with Detective Thorpe at the police headquarters, correct?
Yes.
You knew Detective Thorpe to be the lead investigator on the Donovan Thomas case. That's what he told you.
I can't remember.
Okay. Certainly, he asked you questions about the Donovan Thomas case, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And let's just talk about the timing of this meeting. If, and I know we're saying it did not happen, I want to be clear on that. If Demikian had told you something at the McDonald's, right?
Now listen.
This meeting with Detective Thorpe would have been hours after Demikian made that statement, correct? It would have been the same night, just after midnight.
But he never told me that.
I understand. I understand he never told you that, but I'm saying if he did.
Are you saying that
The meeting was mere hours after.
it would have been?
Right, it would have been. Okay. And Detective Thorpe asked you about the Donovan Thomas shooting, correct?
That's what his purpose of calling me down now.
And you showed up and you went through your movements that day, correct?
Yeah.
Your movements from January 10th, 2015.
I think I did. I think he asked me where I been. That's what you asked me?
Right. And you went into details about everything that happened that day, correct?
I guess.
Okay. That meeting on January 11th, 2015,
They can do redirect.
you never claimed that Demikian Garlington told you that Shannon Stillwell, Diamante Kendricks, Duwop, and Nard killed Donovan Thomas, did you? You never told him that on January 11, 2015.
No, I didn't.
Okay. And the reason you
On
didn't
live
tell him that is because you hadn't made up that lie yet, correct?
Right.
Let's talk about January 28th, 2015. That was your second recorded statement. And I understand what you've testified to. There may have been phone calls and all sorts of other communications in between there with police. But January 28th, 2015 was your second recorded statement.
Everybody get back on
Okay.
YT.
You met with Investigator Dennis, Investigator Gaither, and Detective Thorpe on January 28th, 2015, correct?
I don't know the date, but yes.
Okay. And they certainly asked you about the Donovan Thomas shooting, correct?
I don't remember what they asked me.
Okay, well, I'm going to play a clip, but you would agree that January 28th, 2015 would have been 18 days after, if Demikian Garlington had told you that information, it would have been 18 days later, this statement.
I guess. I don't keep up with time.
Okay, 28 minus 10 is 18. So 18 days between January 10th, 2015 and January 28th, 2015. You with me?
All right.
All right, cool.
Well, look at
Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS20A, which is
Look at
states
William.
378 Yankee Beta from 72237 to
Oh,
72440.
Yeah, who you think killed that?
Okay.
You're prime suspect, but move yourself out, people.
Okay. Did you hear Investigator Dennis ask you, who do you think killed Nut?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Who you think did it?
I'll probably say that.
I'm just saying, like, word on the street is, you've been tried, convicted within the street.
Now they said two of my other partners were locked up for it, but
Who?
they my head and dog. But they ain't have nothing to
Who
do
was
with it.
that?
Not locked up.
Who was that?
that's not gonna happen at all. Oh wait,
Change your name.
that's
Like, saying, like,
at all.
oh,
At all. Zero.
they saying they did it.
Not no gang.
Yeah, head out. They saying they did.
Not a gang.
You know what I'm saying? They trying to make it
What
like.
do you think? Like, I'm not, what do you think? What do you think happened?
Okay. Right there, you said to Investigator Dennis, when asked who you think killed Nut, you're saying, they're saying, meaning the streets, right?
Right.
Streets are saying Head and Doc, who are two people you know.
Right.
Those are street names, Head and Doc.
Right.
Shout out to y'all.
Streets are saying they did it,
Shout
but you don't believe that.
out.
Right.
Okay.
Like, real shit.
From the YT
I
guy.
think it got something to do with them. I think they did something. They got another beef somewhere else. Cause I been hearing stories like nuts
No,
ran
I
off with
was
somebody
on
with
my
some-
phone
You know
at
what I'm saying?
the time,
But
and I
they-
was
they-
getting
You
off
said,
from my
I
phone.
think it had something to do with them.
Alive.
You were referring to If Gang, correct?
Watermelon, Hennessy,
Okay. And I paused in the middle. I probably shouldn't have, but you started talking about the rumor was Nut ran off with something.
That's what I said.
Okay. And something would be narcotics.
Yes.
Okay.
It's undercover. I'm reason I'm here because I'm with Doug and Birdman, and they come back to them. Right. So they're nuts for the ran off on somebody with some and some jury. I don't know if they didn't say what it was. It's like he's supposed to ran off on them with something, and Rich Homie Corn supposed to give him $50,000 to meet a new plug. Like Rich Homie Corn told him this out his mouth. Yeah. Then Rich Homie Corn like he got $25,000 to have Tate killed. It's like from the picture you just showed me. Nah, Tate who just got shot the other night. Oh, in the car over there. Okay. He had 25.
Okay. So you continued to say that the rumor was that Nut, or I should say Donovan Thomas, you said Nut, ran off on someone, and that something would have been narcotics.
That's what I said.
Right. Nowhere in that answer did you say, well, Demekion Garlington told me that Shannon and Mr. Kendricks and Duop and Nard killed Nut.
I did say that.
You didn't say that on January 28th.
I didn't say that.
Correct. I'm going to ask you to listen to what's been marked as DS20B, which is that same interview from 7:50:56 to 7:52:50.
Answer
He
this.
never ain't spoke on it.
Why do people saying Birdman have something to do with all this?
Because that's what they gonna do. They gonna do what they, like, I realize it. You know what I'm saying? They say they back me up. It might be, but they paying for it. So,
They finance it.
yeah, that's what they saying. So I just like, man, whatever.
What about Nut stole his watch?
So what?
Birdman watch.
I doubt it. So when you go in Birdman's house, you're not gonna go in their room. That's Shannon calling right there. But
That's
like every time in the Birdman house,
crazy.
you go in the living room, no nobody go in his room.
What about Kell and Greedy still in the watch? Still in front of the phone?
You never heard anything back.
What about Kell knocking off Nut? Doubt it. No,
I ain't gonna say I doubt it.
I ain't heard that.
I'm gonna say I doubt it. Because when him and Thug, like, he was just like, well, call Nut. I'm gonna tell Nut about this.
Like his big homie.
Yeah.
Like the big brother, I'm telling like the boss.
Yeah, like he just like I gotta tell Nut what he need to say. I was looking at him like, why you gotta tell Nut? But I ain't never seen that, but right here.
What about Thug knocking off Nut?
Like I said, I really can't say, like, when it comes out of Nut, I don't know. I don't know nothing about it.
Who did you hear? You said that you heard just in the streets that Head and who's the other dude?
But they say they got locked up for it. He got locked up with the gun, they killed Nut and all this shit here.
Yeah, like-
It'd be like, it'd be 50% true, 50% falsehood.
It'd be 100% lie.
No, he did get locked up.
Okay. So in that clip, Investigator Dennis is again asking you about your theories about who killed Donovan Thomas, correct?
That's what I heard.
And he floated a theory about Birdman being behind killing Donovan Thomas because Donovan Thomas stole a watch of Birdman's, right? You heard that?
Yes.
And you said you don't know anything about that or you doubt it, correct?
Yes.
All right. And then he asked about Greedy. And Greedy is Donovan Thomas's brother, right?
I guess.
Okay. And you said you didn't know anything about that.
Right.
Okay. And then he asked about Kell,
Yes.
Kelvin Watts, Kell, killing Donovan Thomas. And you said you never heard anything about that.
Yes.
And then he asked about I think he said Thugger. We're talking about Jeffrey Williams, and you said you don't know nothing about that.
Right.
Correct? All right. That second time when you were asked about your theories about who killed Donovan Thomas, you never said that Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon, Mr. Kendricks, Nard, and Doo-Wop killed Donovan Thomas, did you?
Because he didn't tell me that.
I understand. Okay, I'm going to play DS20C, and I'm going to ask you to listen to this clip as well.
My girl, she get a lot of information from her friends. She got a lot of friends, so they be around me. Luchinelle was talking at the studio, and it was a girl in there, they messing with one of them, and she my girlfriend. And she said that they nobody can do that, nothing. You know what I'm saying? They was all like Kell and K Rob, somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Kell and who?
K.
Who's that?
I sent you a picture of that to them. I think I sent it to the other picture. They had a chop on in the picture.
Oh yeah. And the gym was in the car.
Yeah, them two, Rob, somebody, and they supposed to came back. They was talk about the studio. You know what I'm saying? They just put my name on it. They covered it up.
Make it seem like they ain't got beef for the streets, whatever.
Yeah. And then it's like, she be like, they know what they do it. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna keep playing on him. And she be like, K, when the nut got killed, K first one called everybody like, we killed Nut. Tell the mom now we did. He the first one started my name. And they like Kell went along with it. So they had Jerry Ross, then they did, like Nut died, then they started.
That same day?
I don't know when. They like they just Ross, and Nick's supposed to come back for them. You know what I'm saying? Like Kell robbed Flat, Floyd, Flat. He robbed one of them.
So in that clip, Mr. Copeland, again, you were asked about your understanding or what you've heard about who killed Donovan Thomas, correct?
Right.
And you said that you said that your girlfriend or a female friend of yours was at the studio and she was told that Kell and K had robbed somebody.
That's what I said.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And the people that Kell and K robbed came back and killed Donovan Thomas as revenge for being robbed.
Yes.
And you said that K then started putting it on you to cover his own tracks.
Yes.
And you also specifically said your understanding was Kelvin Watts, the robbery he did was to Fly's plug.
Yes.
Okay. And so we're clear. Fly is Mr. Jervin Henry. Do you know his government name?
No.
Okay. He's someone who runs clubs, correct? And runs TIG, the record label.
I guess.
Okay. And when you say plug, what do you mean by plug? That's a drug distributor, correct?
That's just a phrase that we use. I don't know.
Is it involved in the drug game?
I guess.
Okay. The bottom line is you gave, on that third clip, you gave some more information about things you heard, but you never said, detectives, let me tell you, Demekion Garlington told me that Shannon, Mr. Kendricks, Doo-Wop, and Nard killed Nut. Did you?
I never said that.
And the reason you never said that on January 28th, 2015 is because you hadn't made up that lie yet, had you?
Yeah.
You hadn't made.
Yeah, you had, or no, you hadn't?
I haven't. Like,
Okay, and the reason you hadn't made up that lie, let's just be clear, on January 28th, 2015, no one was trying to lock you up, right?
I just didn't have no reason to.
Right. You had no reason to finesse at
I-
that time.
Right. They lost like I was.
This is my
I
house.
want to ask you about February 20th, 2015.
From my apartment.
On that date, you met with Investigator Curry, correct? And let me just, I think his name is Curry, it might be Kerr, but it was the investigator about those people shooting at you while you were holding your baby. Remember that?
Yes.
And you remember that investigator?
I remember. I didn't know no name, but yeah.
Okay. And that would have been 40 days if Demekion Garlington had in fact told you that my client and others were responsible for Donovan Thomas's death. That would have been 40 days after you received that information, if that had occurred, right?
I don't get it.
Okay. It would have been a little bit over a month. February 20th, 2015 is a little bit over a month from January 10th, 2015, correct?
Gotcha. Yes.
Okay. And you were asked in that interview about the Donovan Thomas situation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't know.
All
I
right.
can't.
Well, you didn't say anything about Demekion Garlington telling you that Shannon and Mr. Kendricks and Doo-Wop and Nard had killed Donovan Thomas in that interview, did you?
No.
And the reason is because you hadn't made up the lie yet, right?
Right.
February 21st, Detective Gaither and Detective Thorpe had you in there. And they were arresting you for that bogus probation warrant, right?
Yes.
And you knew it was bogus. You didn't think that it was actually going to stick, did you?
Right.
They asked you about the Donovan Thomas case. And this would have been 41 days after Demekion supposedly gave you that information, right?
Right.
And you never told them that Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon, Mr. Kendricks, Doo-Wop, and Nard killed Nutt, did you?
Right.
We can agree that in the 4 recorded meetings prior to June 10, 2015, you never claimed Demekion Garlington said those things about my client or Mr. Kendrick, correct?
Right.
So let's talk about June 10th, 2015, and what makes that date different? On June 10th, 2015, okay, we're going to that interview. You with me?
Yes,
All right, appreciate you. You met with Investigator Gaither, Investigator Dennis, Investigator Thorpe, and Federal Agent Cunningham, correct?
no. I didn't meet with them.
They brought you to the interview room and they came in the room.
Yes,
Okay, you didn't choose to meet with them.
no.
All right, and let's just talk about the circumstances. And I'm going to show you a picture that's already in evidence. I believe it's 378 Yankee Echo 1. If I may approach and get that done.
You may.
Shaq, you don't have. Thank you. May I approach?
You may.
I'm handing you what's been marked as 378 Yankee Echo 1. That's the state's exhibit. That is a picture of you in the interrogation room on June 10, 2015, correct?
Yes,
I'm going to just wait till we can display this. All right. Can you display it? Oh, actually, don't. All right. Thank you, Mr. Atkins. All right. Mr. Copeland, when you go to jail, you wear a blue jail outfit that's given to you by the Fulton County Sheriff Department, correct?
yes,
Okay, and it says Fulton County Jail or Fulton County inmate on the shirt and the pants, correct?
yes,
You absolutely hate wearing that blue outfit, correct?
without a doubt.
Okay. In this picture, you are not wearing one of those blue outfits. You're wearing street clothes, correct?
Right,
Okay, but let's just be clear. In that picture on June 10, 2015, when you're being interviewed, your hands are shackled together, correct?
yes,
You have leg irons on, correct?
yes,
And the leg irons are attached to an anchor on the ground, so you cannot get up and run,
and
correct?
they're hurting.
And they're hurting. And you knew that it was only, unless something drastic happened, it was only a matter of hours before you were going to have a blue Fulton County jumpsuit on, correct?
Yes,
The circumstances of you being brought to that interview room on June 10th, 2015, were federal agents kicked down Miss Quarterman's door that day, correct?
yes,
Okay, and they kicked down that door looking for you because they had an arrest warrant for you.
yes,
They had an arrest warrant for you for the April 28th, 2015 possession of a firearm incident at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes,
Okay. And while in the apartment, they saw some things, correct?
yes.
And they went and got a search warrant.
I don't know.
You're not sure if they got a search warrant. Okay. The bottom line is they searched your apartment.
They did.
Okay. And they found a Smith & Wesson handgun in the kitchen of that apartment, correct?
They found a gun. I don't know what kind.
Okay. Was it a handgun?
I never saw it.
Okay. They also found a stolen laptop computer in your apartment, correct?
That's what they said.
All right. They also searched Deshaun's car, correct?
No.
Well, didn't they find stolen IDs and other stolen property?
That was a rental car from
Okay.
her mama rented.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. They found a stolen IDs and other property in a rental car that was associated with you, correct? That you had been driving.
Yes.
And also on June 10th, 2015, your daughter's birthday was coming up,
7 days.
7 days from that date.
Yes.
And you had plans to have a big celebration for her birthday.
Yes.
Even though you didn't have a blue jumpsuit on during the interview, Investigator Gaither informed you that you were under arrest for various charges, correct?
Yes.
And you were under investigation for various other charges.
Yes.
Okay. She told you that you were being charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon for the gun at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
She told you that you were being charged with reckless conduct for leaving the gun on the bleachers at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
She told you that you were being charged with gang charges for possessing a gun at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
And you knew that you knew that you weren't getting a bond for the gang charges at
Right.
first appearance.
Right.
You were going to have to sit for a while because of those gang charges,
Yes.
unless something drastic happened.
Yes.
You were also told that there were that they were investigating the stolen MacBook computer found in your apartment.
Yes.
You were told that they were investigating the stolen IDs and other property that was found in the rental car.
Yes.
And Investigator Gaither told you that she knew that that stolen property found in the rental car was taken during a series of auto breakings in the area, correct?
Yes.
You also had a Henry County bench warrant.
Yes.
I believe you had another bench warrant out of the city of Atlanta involving a four-wheeler.
Mm.
You don't remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, that's fair. And eventually, Investigator Cunningham also told you that you were facing potentially federal charges
Yes.
for the gun that was found in the apartment, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Investigator Gaither told you it's real now, it's about to be real, right?
Yes.
What'd you take that to mean?
Exactly what she said.
She was telling you, the way you took it, it was time to get to talking, correct?
Yes.
If you wanted to get out anytime soon.
Yes.
They told you that there was no way around that charge at the Dunbar Rec Center, that it was on video,
Yes.
that you were dead to rights,
Yes.
that they had all the control in the situation, correct?
Yes. I think it said open and shut case.
And let's be clear. Even though you don't have that jail uniform on in this picture, you were thinking about how you just got out of jail 3 months prior. You had just been in jail in that horrible unit with feces and people talking to themselves and people eating whatever they were eating and the isolation. And you were thinking about that on June 10th, 2015, correct?
Yes.
Could you play, Mr. Kokomo, could you play what's been marked DS23B? And this is from States 378 Yankee Echo 94048 to 94229.
Okay, what you here for is your warrants from Dunbar Center. Can you tell me what's going on with that? Can you tell me what's going on with that? With that weapon? How'd you get it? Number one. Cause I got a version of how you got it, but I wanna hear from you. How'd you get that? How did you get it? I got it. Cause you had it, we got the video, bro. We got the video. So my question is to you, how did you become in possession of that? When we really gonna do the back and forth today? I know y'all.
We ain't going back and forth today. That's what Investigator Gaither told you.
Say that again.
We ain't going back and forth today.
Right.
You took that to mean that they are in complete control, correct?
That's what it means.
You took that to mean that you needed to tell them what they wanted to know, or you weren't getting out, correct?
This is it. That's what I took it as.
You are, because I'm sitting at that place, this is an opportunity for you to help you. I'm asking, not you.
Okay. You just heard Investigator Gaither say, this is your opportunity for you to help you. Heard that?
Yes.
You took that to mean that this is your chance to give the state or give the police what they want to help your situation.
Nah, this is game time. It's time for me to finish my way.
And do you remember when Attorney Steele played that video? I guess it was yesterday with Agent Cunningham talking about the federal charges. Okay, I'm not going to play that video again,
Thank you.
but I am going to talk to you about a few things that were said. What you asked, I got charges with the feds, and Agent Cunningham said, it's up to you. It's totally up to you. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. The police are telling you that you can talk your way out of this situation if you work with them, correct?
Yes.
Agent Cunningham told you, you're clearly guilty. She told you that they had you dead to rights. Do you remember that?
I think she said open and shut case.
Okay. You took that to mean they have complete control and you need to play their game if you want to get out, correct?
Yes.
Agent Cunningham told you about the charges you were facing. She told you that federal sentences don't have parole,
Yes.
no early release.
Yes.
She told you that with federal cases, they don't typically let prisoners stay in Atlanta, right?
Right.
She said that they were typically going to send you to some other state to serve your federal time behind this.
Right.
You didn't want to be separated. You love your daughter, don't you?
With all my heart.
You post about your daughter on Instagram and you're proud of your daughter, correct?
Yes.
And you consider yourself a good father, don't you?
I try to be.
Okay. And you did not want to be separated from your daughter in some federal prison in another state, did you?
Who want to?
Understood. And Agent Cunningham also said that to her understanding, you're a 3-time convicted felon making you an armed career criminal in the federal system, correct? Remember hearing that?
Yes.
She told you that you were facing 15 years without parole, plus another 10 years without parole for the gun charges, correct?
Yes.
25 years without parole, and that's not even including the conspiracy charges.
Right.
You were 23 at the time, and Agent Cunningham told you, if you don't play ball, you're going to be locked up in a federal prison in another state until you are 48 years old. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Wasn't that said to you
Yes.
on June 10th, 2015?
In the interrogation room.
Miss Agent Cunningham also said that all this is up to you. It's totally up to you, right?
Yes.
She told you that she reports to the U.S. attorney, and she can tell the U.S. attorney what you did to help yourself out.
I think we all heard what she said to me,
Okay. Well, what did you take that to mean?
that I need to help myself out.
Okay. Does that include lying on others?
That means that this is my chance to get myself out of this situation.
It was time to finesse?
Yeah.
Could you, Mr. Kokomo, could you play 23E? And for the record, Your Honor, DS 23E is States Exhibit 378 Yankee Echo 1031 to 103250.
Do you understand the right that none had? Do you understand the right that none had?
Yeah.
What was he? And
I don't know. I didn't know he was.
he was like the third or fourth ranking blood in Georgia.
But what I'm saying is, bro, they were between Donovan and
You didn't let me finish. When you go to prison, your name is on there, regardless of if you did or if you didn't. Donovan ain't in jail. Donovan ain't in jail. Donovan on the European tour, whatever the fuck.
Did you just hear Investigator Dennis pointing out while you're in the interrogation room, Thug, Mr. Jeffrey Williams is on a European tour?
I couldn't understand nothing that was said.
Okay. Did Investigator Dennis bring up the European tour that Jeffrey Williams on? Is that something you brought up or Investigator Dennis, to your recollection?
I guess he did.
Okay. Can you keep playing?
The one that's gonna go courtside for that. And it ain't no protective custody. It's you. So you the one that's gonna have to speak on what you need to, if you need to speak on what you need to speak.
On, okay?
Y'all ears are better than mine.
I understand that. I'm not blaming you.
I ain't had no parts like the shooting, none of these. I didn't have no part. I just I didn't even do it for the thing. I mean, when they started doing this shit, everybody call my name because they all who did it. Then they be coming naming me, so it ain't even me. I mean, the way y'all look at me, y'all supposed to be there. Sending them like this. I mean,
Okay. Mr. Copeland, did you hear yourself say, I just hang out with Thug for the fame?
No.
Okay. Did you hear yourself say that people are saying that you're committing these crimes, certain crimes, but it's not you?
I didn't hear him. I heard, I said Shannon's name, but I don't know what I said with it.
Did you hear, well, do you remember, regardless of what you heard, do you remember saying everything that people are blaming me for, they need to look at Shannon?
I probably did. I can't
Okay.
hear what I said.
Now that you have this immunity agreement from the state, you acknowledge that you were committing crimes back then, correct?
What you mean?
Well, you've acknowledged that, and we're going to get to it later, but you've acknowledged that you shut up Rich Homie Kwan's dad's barbershop, for instance. Right? You testified to that.
All right.
Okay. So when you said, I ain't doing nothing, when people are blaming me, they need to be looking at Shannon. That was not true. That was you trying to shift blame from yourself. That was you finessing.
But I already said it.
I understand that. But that's an example of you finessing, correct? And shifting the blame from you to Shannon, right?
I said that to you, and I said that to them, and I'm saying it again. I have lied, and you're gonna keep sitting here asking me the same question. You just said a minute ago that you weren't gonna ask me the same question.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna play something not that you said, what other people said to you, okay? And I'm gonna ask you to listen. And if you can't hear, you can't hear, okay?
All right.
I mean, there's some kids. I plan on taking care of my kids, man. I mean, fuck that, man. I ain't did nothing. I ain't shoot the houses. I ain't shot nobody. I mean, man, only I had a gun because the tip told me, man, I had the right to defend myself. Because the same night I got killed, I came down here. I was going to tell them, but guess what I was just thinking, like, man, these niggas thug, I like power, man. Even right now, I'm still thinking about it. Like, shit, man, I just fuck myself up, man. Just worse and worse.
Yeah.
I want to say,
I don't know. I'll make that decision.
I ain't had no point.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
Really talk to the USA. The judge makes.
Did you hear yourself ask Agent Cunningham if your case is going to the feds?
Yes.
Did you hear Agent Cunningham say, I don't know, I just talked to the AUSA?
No.
Okay. Keep playing.
Decision on, what's going down there.
I ain't had no voice. I ain't.
But you were, I don't know if you had no part of that. That's yet to be determined. But you had every part of the gun that was found today.
No, you keep saying the gun don't find today. I didn't have that gun. Though I keep saying y'all my fingerprint. My fingerprint, I don't come back on that gun.
Do you know what actual and constructive possession is?
Been around.
Yeah, be around.
But I didn't know what it was in there though. Just like she said she didn't know, I didn't know. Man,
Somebody knew. The baby didn't know. She
now this is what I'm saying here. Me and her just, we were there. But I wasn't there yesterday.
But you were there this morning when they found it, sweetheart.
You know how I got there this morning? You know how
Well,
I
but that's irrelevant. You were there. They came and brought you up. It was there. You were there. That's all I need. That's on you.
So what you need me to do? I don't know, I'm just trying to get out there.
I mean, that's on you.
This shit is on me. It ain't no way I can get out of it.
Help yourself.
I'm trying to
Help myself. You. That's you talking. That's where you start.
Did you hear yourself, Mr. Copeland, ask Agent Cunningham, what do you need me to do? I'm just trying to get out of jail.
Yes.
Okay. And did you hear Agent Cunningham respond, you help yourself. You help yourself.
Yes.
Help us help you.
Yes.
You're talking, that's a start.
I said yes.
Okay. Help us help you. Did you take that as it was time for you to finesse, to start telling stories on others, to get yourself out of the situation?
Yes.
I got one more clip I'm going to ask you to listen to, Mr. Copeland. And this is actually from February 21st, 2015. Ms. Kokomo, I'm going to ask you to publish what's already DS24A, which is already, it's a clip from States Exhibit 378 Yankee Delta from 433.33 to 436.11. And again, that's from the February 21st, 2015 interview with Investigator Gaither and Detective Thorpe, okay?
rush on me. You know how they got me in jail? They got me in the back. Ooh, somebody protecting me. If you feel like you need to protect me, why they get me out of jail?
No, bro, it don't quite work that way. It's, understand,
Now, you recognize that as Detective Thorpe's voice, correct? He's not on the video, he's off the camera, but you recognize that as his voice, correct?
You play it again?
Yep. Just back up 5 seconds.
no, bro, it don't quite work that way. It's, understand, it is not Burger King. You're not gonna have it your fucking way.
I ain't trying to play my way.
You remember Detective Thorpe telling you that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to ask you to listen to what he tells you. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page with Detective Thorpe, okay?
I haven't done
No. Hear me out, because you need to get somebody who's gonna talk real shit to you. I ain't gonna fuck around with you. I already done told you. I'm not gonna hold your hand. I'm not gonna help you cross the street. None of that.
I ain't.
Let me hear me. You locked up for probation violation. Whatever happened between you and the parole board and the probation unit, that's on y'all. That's on y'all. Now, myself and Detective Gator, we're gonna take time out of our off day to get you out of jail, to talk to you, to see whatever information you give can be used to help you. What you gotta give in order to get. All you want all you want to give me. But you don't want to give nothing back. Here's the thing. I didn't ask. Cool, as I told you before, you and I, we're not going to do a 68. I'm not going to blow you and you owe me one. No, it don't work that way. You understand what I'm getting at? Because I ain't going to fuck around with you no more. You want people to help you out, but then you step and stop at the certain line and say, well, you figure out the rest. I got the information.
So, Mr. Copeland, that was on February 21st, 2015. You would agree that Detective Thorpe made these comments to you before you first lied and said that Mr. Garlington told you the information on Shannon and others, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Investigator Thorpe said, I ain't gonna F around with you, right?
Yes.
You have to give in order to get.
Yes.
You want to say, give me, you don't give back.
Yes.
And of course, the give me was you getting out of trouble, getting out of jail, right?
Right.
Okay. You and we aren't going to do a 68. I'm not going to blow you and you owe me one.
Right.
You said that?
Yes.
Did you understand the message that he was getting across when he said that?
Right.
We are not going to no DA and say, you cut us a break and he ain't give us nothing. You heard him say that?
Right.
Go ahead.
I have the information, but I'm not going to say anything else. Y'all just need to go ahead and check me out of jail, and I'm good after that. No, bro, it don't work that way. Whatever fucking TV show you was watching, them motherfuckers was wrong.
I don't even look at TV.
I can't hear
So
you.
whoever told you whatever you thinking, you're dead ass wrong. We're not going to go to no district attorney and say, can you go ahead and cut him a break because he gave us nothing? Nigga, don't work that way. When the fuck did life start working that way? It don't work that way. That's a fucked up. You gotta give to give. And that's just being real. Now we.
Did you hear Investigator Gaither back Detective Thorpe up and tell you, you got to give to get, and that's just being real?
Yeah, I just heard it.
Ms. Copeland, these are just some examples. The reality is the detectives in this case had been encouraging you to tell stories on others to get yourself out of trouble, correct?
For the 100th time, I've been telling you that.
You knew how to finesse on your own, right? But the detectives were also encouraging you to finesse, correct?
They were tricking me.
Okay. As I understand it, Mr. Copeland, your testimony is that you told many lies in these interviews in 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to just review with you some of the lies that you told, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you. First of all, I want to talk to you about the gray infinity. Okay?
I'm listening.
All right. Through the questioning of the police, and I don't know, maybe through other information that you've been given, you're aware that there's a surveillance video of the shooting of Donovan Thomas, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware that the surveillance video shows a gray sedan, correct?
Yes.
And you're aware that the police believe it to be an Infinity, correct?
They put it on the news.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask Mr. Kokomo to publish DS-19A, which is a clip from States 378 Yankee A, which is the January 11, 2015 interview from 3/18/47 to 3/19/38.
Who's Walter Lee Maddox?
Who?
Who's Walter Maddox?
Hmm? No
Yeah.
anything?
Did y'all ever rent or own an Infinity?
Infinity.
Y'all ever rent one of those cars before?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever been stopped in an Infinity before?
Have I?
Yeah. Had an accident in an Infinity?
No.
A Maxima?
Have I ever had coverage in?
Mm-hmm.
No. Hold on, let me think.
Anytime.
I had coverage in the Pontiac, that was a couple years ago. I ain't had no coverage, I ain't had no red sleep, I ain't have none of it.
Okay, this is the same night that Donovan Thomas was shot and killed, correct?
Can you say it again?
This is the same night, this interview was the same night that Donovan Thomas was shot and killed, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And Detective Thorpe, you heard him. He asked if you've ever owned or rented an Infinity, correct?
That's what he said.
And you said no. Right?
Right.
He asked if you ever wrecked an Infinity, right?
Right.
And you said no.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to publish, Your Honor, with your permission, DS-19B, which is a clip from the same interview on 378 Yankee Alpha, States Exhibit 378 Yankee Alpha from 3/20/28 to 3/20/48. It's just 20 seconds.
This a video?
Yes. 3/20/28 to 3/20/48.
Y'all ever had a Infinity Gray?
It's not playing.
Gray? Y'all ever,
Is it up now?
No.
Okay. Could you start it over?
y'all ever had a Infinity Gray? A gray Infinity Q45 before?
A truck,
No.
a cup,
Yeah.
not I know of.
Actually, but maybe his car. A red car he had rented or something like that. That's cool. That's cool.
I was saying,
Okay. In that clip, again, Detective Thorpe asked you about whether you ever had a gray Infinity, correct?
Right.
And you said, not that I know of.
Right.
Those were your statements on January 11th, 2015, hours after Donovan Thomas was shot, correct?
Right.
Okay. I want to talk to you about the reality. The reality is that you asked Jeffrey Williams to rent you a gray Infiniti, correct?
I'm listening.
Or I should say, you asked him to rent you a car, and it ended up being a gray Infiniti, correct?
I'm listening.
Okay. The reality is that on the night of June 9th, going into the morning of June 10th, the same day that Donovan Thomas was shot, you were driving that Infiniti on the highway, correct?
I don't know. I can't remember. When I was driving it.
We just saw your testimony from earlier in this trial.
Yeah,
where
but you being specific about the time. I don't know.
Okay. The reality is,
I don't know when I written on the expressway. That's what I'm saying.
okay. Do you agree that it was, I'm not asking for a time, do you agree that it was on January the evening of January 9th. It was nighttime that you wrecked.
It was
correct?
nighttime.
You were speeding on the highway and you hit some cones.
I lost control. Yeah.
And that was, I believe in your testimony, you said you wrecked the car. And let me be clear, Quindarius Zachary, Lil D from Cleveland, you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Lil D from Cleveland was in that car, that Infiniti, with you on the night you wrecked.
Yes.
Okay, and after wrecking the car, you guys reattached the bumper on the side of the highway, correct?
How you know that?
Is it true?
I'm listening.
Okay. And after you reattached the bumper, that's when you went and pulled up on threat Trevante Turner at a music studio somewhere around Northside Drive, I believe is what you said,
Yes.
correct? And you gave that car to that Infinity to Trevante Turner,
Yes.
okay? And in your testimony, you said then you went home, fell asleep, and the next day you woke up, and that's when the Donovan Thomas shooting occurred, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just working through this with you. I'm not trying to trick you. So based on your testimony, you were driving that car, that Infinity, on the evening of January 9th going into January 10th, correct?
I guess.
Of 2015 with Mr. Zachary.
I guess.
And you gave that Infinity to your good friend, Threat, in the early morning hours of January 10th, 2015, correct?
I gave it to him at nighttime. It was dark.
Okay. So you don't remember if it was before midnight or after midnight. Is that what you're saying?
I don't keep up with the time.
Okay, that's fine. The bottom line is you were specifically asked about that Infinity or an Infinity hours after Donovan Thomas was shot. And you denied ever being in possession of an Infinity, correct?
Say that again.
When you were asked on January 11th, early in the morning, talking to Detective Thorpe, when Detective Thorpe, the lead investigator of the Donovan Thomas murder, asked you about possessing a gray Infinity, you denied that you ever had one, correct?
Right.
Okay. Let's talk about the gun at the Dunbar Rec Center. As I understand your testimony, or as I understand your statements, let me back up. I'm sorry. At the Dunbar Rec Center, we're talking about a Diamondback 223 assault rifle, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so we're not talking about a handgun. We're talking about a semi-automatic machine gun? Is that a fair assessment?
A chopper.
A chopper. Okay. And in your statements back in 2015, you repeatedly denied possession of that gun, didn't you?
They put it on me.
Okay. And your testimony actually here today is that you were just there playing basketball and they put it on you.
That's what the video would show.
Okay. You specifically said in your statements when you were trying to get out of jail, I ain't do nothing, right?
Right.
Okay. The reality is that you pled to that case in federal court, correct?
Yes.
Okay. In federal court, you acknowledged possessing that gun.
Yes.
Okay. And you were sentenced.
Yes.
Okay. And and to be fair to you, you served your sentence, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the stolen IDs in the rental car and the laptop in the apartment on June 10th, 2015, okay? And that's the day that the federal agents kicked into
Yeah.
Sean's door and locked you up. And that's also the same day that you made up the story and lied and said Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon and others were responsible for killing Donovan Thomas, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you play DS23I for me, Mr. Kokomo, and that's States Exhibit 378 Yankee Echo from June 10th, 2015, from 11:25:01 to 11:26:20.
Like I said, you didn't say that. You said, I'll tell you, bitch, that shit. Yeah. Okay. They want to know now? Need to hit the read. Little Mike.
Pause.
Can you play it again?
Yes, we can.
Like I said, you didn't say that. You said, I'll tell you, bitch, that shit. Yeah. Okay. They want to know now? Need to hit the read. Little Mike. Little Mike, quiz.
In that clip, you're being asked about how those stolen items ended up in your apartment and your rental car, correct?
Yes.
And you're telling the investigators that you didn't do those auto breakings that resulted in those items being stolen, correct?
Right.
You're saying it was Little Mike and Quez from Etheridge?
Yes.
You ain't never heard of them? You ain't never heard of them? They wild him. Whatever they call it out there. I'm pretty wait. You put out the other day about 5 o'clock, y'all, and that.
There's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers out there.
How am I gonna know it's them?
You.
Well,
Why you got to know?
I don't know. Why I got it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to jewels out for them. What that mean? Make me some money out for them.
What, sell somebody out there?
Nah, just like, I mean, it's like,
What's the burger?
make money out for them.
How?
How
What's
did
the
you
jewel?
get it? How did you get it? Shit, then I got it. When they bought the cup, Tay bought the cup back to me. Wait a minute, you said Tay borrowed the Jeep? Yeah.
Lil D, bro.
No. You know what I'm talking about. You talking about Trevante? Yeah. You let Trevante use the car? Yeah, he's supposed to go to you. You know what I'm saying? But when they pull that car, I let it go.
Okay. There you're saying that you gave the car to Devante, who gave it to Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you would agree that detectives Gaither and Dennis are telling you we've never even heard of Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland, Lil Mike is not a real person, is he?
No.
That was the finesse. You invented a person out of thin air, correct?
Yes.
Quez is not a real person. You invented him out of thin air on the spot, correct?
Yes.
You invented those people to take the heat off of you and put it on fictional characters.
I done told y'all that's what I do.
That's your finesse, right? The reality is that stolen merchandise was found in your apartment and in your rental car, and you invented fictional characters to take the heat off yourself, right? I know you're going to say, I told you that's what I do,
I guess.
but I got to ask the questions. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. October 27, 2021. Okay. Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Mr. Copeland, I am handing you what's been marked DS-25C. Do you recognize the people in that photograph?
Yes.
Okay, and who are those people?
Me and the police.
Okay, and do you know either of the police officers' names?
Miss V, and I think that the white man named Kelly, something like that.
Okay, could the Caucasian gentleman be known as Investigator Kettle?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, and Ms. V is Investigator Viverito?
Yeah, the probation officer.
Okay. And are you in an interrogation room in that photo?
Yes.
Okay, and is that a photo from the the interrogation of you on October 27th, 2021.
Yes.
Okay, and at this time, Your Honor, I would ask to admit DS-25C into evidence.
All right.
Mr.
submitted.
Kokomo, could you publish that? Okay, and like I asked you about the photo from June 10, 2015, I'm going to ask about this photo as well. You don't appear to be wearing a Fulton County blue uniform, are you?
No.
Okay, and I can't tell if were your arms shackled together during that interview?
My leg.
All right, and we see you're wearing Timberland boots, and we see a chain right next to the boot, correct?
It's on my leg.
Right, and that's shackling you to the ground.
Yes.
You are under arrest in this photo,
Yes.
okay? And you know that you are soon to be wearing a Fulton County blue uniform, correct?
That's what they told me.
Okay. And the allegations of that case were you were pulled over at Atlantic Station in Atlanta, correct?
No.
Where were you?
Walking.
Okay, you were walking. All right. According to the police, they searched a car that they were saying was yours, right?
Yes.
And they found a handgun under the car seat, correct?
That's what they claim.
Okay. And you were a convicted felon, so you're not allowed to possess the handgun.
But I was walking.
Okay, I understand that's what you're saying. But you were charged with reckless conduct and possession of firearm by a convicted felon, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
No. I was charged with driving with suspended license and the firearm.
Okay. Thank you for that correction. When you say firearm, you're talking about possession of firearm by a convicted felon.
Yes.
Okay. And there's a little complication with that explanation. You were in fact searched after you were arrested, correct?
I was tased and everything.
Okay. And when the police searched your clothing, correct?
Yes.
And they actually found a magazine in your pocket, and bullets in your pocket, correct?
That's what they say.
In the pocket of the pants you were wearing,
That's
correct?
what they say.
Okay. And when I say a magazine, that's a component of a gun that holds the bullets, correct?
I guess.
Okay. All right. Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS-25B, which is from 10/27/21 interview from 2/23/05 to 2/23/58?
I think that video has been tendered and admitted.
Has it, do you know?
It has not.
I am asking to, well, I'll go about this a different way. Thank you, Ms. Hill.
I don't have an objection, so I'm just saying that it's not
Well,
admitted.
I might not need to play the video. Mr. Copeland, do you remember in that interview, you were asked about if that's not your gun in the car, and if you were just walking, why do you have a magazine with bullets in your pocket? Correct? You remember them asking you that?
Can I speak to my lawyer?
Yes. Well,
Yes, you can. Let's take a break anyway. We'll take about 15 minutes.
I have approximately an hour more, maybe an hour and a half.
Okay. And Mr. Williams, were you gonna do any cross?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, we'll break.
Okay, so guys, so much to talk about. Let me put this up.
Record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Let's try one more time. Hold on.
Okay.
At the tone, please record the message.
Gave it to Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you would agree that
Oh, listen to
detectives
this. This is crazy.
Gaither and Dennis are telling you we've never even heard of Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland, Lil Mike is not a real person, is he?
No.
That was the finesse. You invented a person out of thin air, correct?
Yes.
Quez is not a real person. You invented him out of thin air on the spot, correct?
Yes.
You invented those people to take the heat off of you and put it on fictional
witness.
characters.
I done told y'all that's what I do.
That's your finesse, right?
Guys. What? Wait a minute. Let's play this again.
There you're saying that you gave the card to Javante, who gave it to Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and
Shout out to Lil Mike and Quiz.
you would agree that detectives Gaither and
Yeah.
Dennis
Squirrel brain.
are telling you we've never even heard of Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland, Lil Mike is not a real person, is he?
No.
That was the finesse. You invented a person out of thin air, correct?
Oh,
Yes.
Quez is not a real person. You invented him out of thin air on the spot, correct?
Yes.
You invented those people to take the heat off of you and put it on fictional characters.
I done told y'all that's what I do.
That's your
what I
finesse,
do.
right?
Oh, God. I can't take it. Okay, hold on. Got one more for y'all. I can't. I just these star witnesses just don't. They just don't. This was a good part.
Do you know who put that video on the internet during this before this trial started?
I don't know who did it.
Do you have a belief who did it?
Yes.
And who are you referring to who did that?
Objection relevant to who he believes.
Goes to his state of
And
mind.
speculation.
Goes to his state of mind on the conversations that he's referring to. Puts it in context.
I'll allow it.
Who did you believe put out the videos on the internet of your interrogation, or the video?
The state,
And by the state, the same people you've been referring to?
I can't say specific if it was them, but
The Pacific is
the
crazy.
state did it.
Okay. And what did that have an effect on you or your family when you believe the state of Georgia put out your interrogation?
Well, they believe I be, if everybody say I'm a snitch, you know, this and then third, they believe that I'd be like, okay, and just do what they want me to do.
And is that, there's a mention in the last,
What's wrong with you? Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to call him because it's something really wrong with him. Okay. I'm okay. I just had a moment. Okay, let's keep going.
Steele showed you that video from the Texaco gas station and asked if you saw Jeffrey Williams walking around the Texaco changing cars?
Yes,
Okay, I'm not going to play that video again.
thank God.
Yeah, I don't think you're the only one that's saying that. But when you watched it, you
Oh,
didn't see Shannon changing cars at that Texaco either, did you?
No,
You remember when Attorney Steele showed you that video
I'm gonna
from
ask
the
him,
Texaco gas
guys.
station
I'm
and
gonna
asked
ask
if you
him.
saw
Let me
Jeffrey
get
Williams
on stand.
walking around the
I don't want
Texaco
to say
changing
why
cars?
he's on the stand.
yes,
Okay, I'm not going to play that video again.
thank God.
Yeah,
Thank God.
I don't think you're the only one that's saying that. But when you
explained that you told them people that they're wasting their time, and the lady acted like she wanted to get on her knees and beg and plead. You said you told them to get out of your face. And then the man asked which lady. Do you remember that?
Me love,
And then you said on the recording, the deputy DA. That's who you just pointed to.
Miss Love,
And that you explained that you told them people that they're wasting their time, and the lady acted like she wanted to get on her knees and beg and plead. You said you told them to get out of your face. And then the man asked which lady. Do you remember that?
me love,
And then you said on the recording, the deputy DA. That's who you just pointed to.
Miss Love,
And that you explained.
Okay, y'all. So helpful to the defense or not? Y'all, I have tears in my eyes because of Mike and Quiz. Like, okay, in the meantime, since we're taking a break, who I know you guys said something, you know, I had to get off live yesterday. And I told y'all my man sent me flowers. Do y'all want to see those flowers or not? Yes or no? On a lighter note, because if not, I'm just gonna keep laughing. I have tears in my eyes because I just can't imagine being a prosecutor and y'all, I'm not gonna be able to practice in Fulton County because of y'all. I didn't get to cut them yet. So are y'all ready to see the flowers? Let me get them for y'all. Okay, guys. Isn't this beautiful? Look at this. Look at this. I'm so excited. What do you guys think? So now my husband's in the chat. You got some competition. Got some competition. Shout out to my man, y'all. BG is so funny. So that was just a lighter note. Because this is why I had to get off live yesterday to go get out my flowers. It's 96 flowers. But anyway, of course, y'all know that is my that's my album. Shout out to Lotto. Yes, it wasn't Quez that bought the flowers. Just know it was not Quez or Little Mike. No, I didn't count them. I know how many they are because there was a dozen in each box. And they came, I'm gonna show y'all. This is how I know how many there is. Because they came in these boxes. So I know how many was in each box. But Quez didn't get them. Or Little Mike. Are we back yet? Still not back. I wish I could tell y'all what he said when I called him. And when I talked to him on the phone, not Woody. We talking about the roses, my man. He said, I pushed add and add and add and add till I couldn't push add no more. Isn't that so sweet? Oh my gosh. Woody, Quez, or Lil Mike did not get my flowers. Thank you. Y'all should hear how Woody talks to me. Like when I called him yesterday on FaceTime, I didn't brush my hair. He's worse than y'all. He's like, what I tell you about calling me without your hair done? Oh God. I'm sorry, y'all. Quez and Lil Mike took me out.
murder. Everybody saying I did it. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I lied on Doug because, you know what I mean, I found out that he I can't say that, I can't say that on the phone, but, you know what I mean? It's some shit happened between me and him back then. And just so happened I got locked up the next day. You feel me? Innocent. Y'all trying to pin a murder charge on me. Hey man, listen. I ain't got nothing to do with no murder. Everybody saying I did it.
Y'all have
I
me.
ain't got nothing to do with it. I lied on Doug because, you know what I mean, I found out that he I can't say that, I can't say that on the phone, but, you know what I mean? It's some shit happened between me and him back then. And just so happened I got locked up the next day. You feel me? Innocent. Y'all trying to pin a murder charge on me. Hey man, listen.
Okay, guys. So, sorry. He's saying everybody say he did it. He's saying he lied on Thug. I mean, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Still not back yet. Y'all, what do y'all think? Oh my God, Marcus, I don't know. I don't know. Do y'all think green heart? If you think, and then it makes me mad. I love him so much, but there are 5 other people. So it's not just about him, it's about everybody. So green hearts if you think everybody's gonna go free. Or tell me who y'all think is gonna go free. I think everybody. I don't think it's just one. That's what I say too. I say this too. Green hearts for everybody, not just Thug. I mean, we want Thug to go home. Yes, we love him. Shout outs to Jeffrey Williams. But we want everybody to go home. We want Shannon to go home. We want Lil Rod to go home. We want Yak to go home. We want both the Quays to go home. Is that everybody? Did I get everybody?
Mr. Copeland, I'm sure much to his chagrin, will be coming back on Tuesday of next week anyway.
Oh, I forgot.
Here's the
Lil
situation.
Mike. We want Lil Mike to go.
We
Free
also
Lil Mike.
need to
Everybody
deal
put
with
free Lil Mike.
review about the jury. And I know y'all wanted some further information and maybe to even ask some questions. And it doesn't necessarily have to be done today, but it has to be done fairly quickly if the ultimate decision is going to be something other than she stays here. So we can do one or the other this afternoon. We could either finish your cross or we could deal with the juror, but I don't think we can do both, which is fine. So I just was kind of maybe going to ask you, do you have a preference?
I would prefer to finish my cross.
Okay, and I think that probably makes more sense anyway, but we're going to need to then deal with the juror issue Tuesday, I think is, we just can't leave that out there. I'm sure she's wondering what the decision is going to be.
Are we able, if Mr. Sharp, I know he said he was going to go for maybe another hour to
Yeah.
hour and a half, if he does finish just before 5 or within a certain amount of time, would the court be willing to inquire of the juror?
Sure, if if it's like close to 5, but I don't want, yes, maybe. It just all depends on what our timing's going to be. Okay, all right, let's get Mr. Copeland back in, get the jury back in.
Dang, Ashley, how you gonna hire Max and Brian before you hire me? Oh my God. Y'all, I'm about to call CT.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Sharp.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Copeland, before we broke, we were talking about the October 27, 2021 interview with Investigator Viverito and Investigator Kettle, correct? Okay. And you were being accused of possession of a firearm and driving offenses.
Yes.
And in that statement you gave on October 27, 2021, okay, you were denying possessing the firearm that was found in the car that they said was being driven by you.
Yes.
Okay. And what I was asking you about is about your pockets being searched after your arrest, right?
I'm listening.
Okay. And the reality is the police did search your pockets and they found a magazine and some bullets. And Investigator Viverito told you that, correct?
I don't recall.
Okay. You told Investigator Viverito that the magazine and the bullets were in your pocket because you had just grabbed someone else's pants and put them on, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The reality, Mr. Copeland, is that those were your pants.
Prove it.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Did you plead guilty to possessing a firearm in case 22 SC 182134 on June 28, 2023?
I play NOLO.
Okay. And that was involving this incident, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Going to ask you about the shooting of Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop. Okay. Is that okay?
No.
Okay. Well, I got to do it. You're aware that Rich Homie Kwan's father does own a barbershop in Atlanta, correct?
I guess.
Okay. 2014, someone shot up Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And this was a big deal. Rich Homie Kwan, at least at that time, was a well-known rapper.
I'm listening.
Okay. And Rich Homie Kwan was trying to find answers to who shot up his father's barbershop, correct?
That's
I
him.
mean, he came to you for answers.
All right.
You knew Rich Homie Kwan, right?
Something like that.
Okay. And he came to you for answers, and he told you that he thought Trevante Turner threat shot up his father's barbershop.
Right.
And you took it upon yourself to convince Rich Homie Quan that it was not threat.
Right?
And you did that, at least partially, because you knew that Rich Homie Quan was thinking about putting money on Threat's head, correct?
I'm listening.
And when I say money on Threat's head, taking out a contract to have to have Trevante Turner, Threat, killed.
I'm listening.
25,000, right?
I'm listening.
Okay. On January 28th, 2015, you were asked by investigator Dennis about the shooting of Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop, correct?
You say when?
January 28th, 2015, during the interviews that we've been talking about,
All right.
okay? The interviews that you've said you lied in, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask to publish DS-22A, which is States 378 Yankee Bravo. And the time is 7/24/00 to 7/27/30.
All right.
Okay, and on the screen, that's you, Investigator Dennis, and Investigator Gaither, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Then Rich on the corner, like, you got 25,000, have Tate killed. It's like,
Take from the picture you just showed me.
nah, Tate who just got shot the other night.
Oh, in the car over
Yeah.
there, okay.
He had 25,000, have
We're going to get to Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop in a second. Trevante Turner is now sadly deceased, correct? All right. When you were talking about him being shot back in 2015, he was also shot in 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that was Kell who shot?
I'm not for sure who shot him.
Okay.
Tate killed.
Who did?
Just Rich on the corner shit. Cause he was telling me. So I'm telling Rich on the corner, like, but you got these niggas in your house. These same niggas that shut up my house, bro.
Right.
Rich on the corner, like, he like, bro, they just look like that, bro. He like, we the same shit. I'm like, but still, bro, you out here hating these niggas, this and that. So Rich on the corner, like, bro, it ain't dead. We the same shit. I just can't turn my back on. Like, it ain't dead, bro. You supporting these niggas, bro. So the more you support them, the more they gonna come out and do that. If you leave them alone.
And in there, we still haven't gotten to the barbershop part, but in there, you're talking about conversations with Rich Homie Kwan and his problems being linked to the Bloods, correct?
I guess.
Okay, and Rich Homie Kwan not really being built like that.
For sure.
Okay. And the fact that he was scared to leave the Bloods, but in your opinion, they wanted to use Rich Homie Kwan for his money.
I'm talking to the police.
Okay. But that's what's being discussed.
All right.
I'm not saying it's the truth. That's what's being discussed, though.
All right.
Okay.
Then everything gonna go away. Yeah. Then you're like, I just protect
Can I
you.
tell y'all
We need
something?
y'all.
You're listening
I
to
need
this.
y'all.
I'm gonna tell y'all something about it.
Yeah, we're gonna protect you. You and these niggas ain't doing it. Then you're like,
On
so
me.
you shot my truck, bro.
Y'all wanna listen to this?
That side of the truck. Man, you been, you know what I'm saying? Man, you been around. Like, nah, I'll just, you in there like this.
What did he have the 25 of to do Tay here for?
Say, his daddy got shot.
Recall.
Rich on the corner.
Barbershop.
It's Barbershop. Just like how they say my name, on Bankhead, they say Tay name. They saying Tay did. I know Tay.
And just so we're clear,
I
you
don't know.
said
Tay is crazy.
Rich Homie Kwan's daddy got shot. So it wasn't just a barbershop that was shot. His barbershop was shot, but he actually got shot in the barbershop, correct?
I don't know nothing about all that.
Okay. Well, that's what you said. You said that Rich
I'm
Homie
talking
Kwan.
to the police again.
Okay.
Ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm lying stuff saying Tay said like mom. I know Tay ain't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the night before we just hit the party.
Yeah, who did it?
Somebody else did some
Spit it out.
you know what I'm saying? But it's supposed to be some niggas that had money over there. You know what I'm
Who
saying?
over there got money?
No, I'm talking about Bankhead.
A lot of niggas on back got money.
That's why when I started thinking,
You
I
didn't say
couldn't
y'all
think of
going
the name,
on?
but
Okay, cool. I'll keep my
this
secret
nigga-
to myself.
supposed to have paid somebody on Johnson Road on one of them streets over there to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
To kill him and retaliate, to get that Quan, or to target his daddy.
Like the same day, we like, I was in the street, I seen corn crying. I'm like, oh, bro. And he tried to kill my dad. You know what I'm saying? But him and Tate didn't have a problem.
Right.
So that's why he think
Okay. And you just, about 15 seconds before we paused it, you were talking about who shot up Rich Homie Kwan's barbershop, Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop. And you said a man from Bankhead with money
Y'all
hired
can hear.
someone from Johnson Road to do it, right?
I'm listening.
Is that correct? Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
Okay.
I bet you a million.
Somebody
people
from
call me before
Bankhead.
anybody else.
When you say Bankhead, you're talking about Donald Lee Hollowell Road, right?
I guess
Okay, well, you said it. Bankhead means street.
Bankhead mean that area.
Yeah.
Okay, that area off of Bankhead, and he paid someone from Johnson Road to shoot up Rich Homie
I ain't
Kwan's.
pay nobody to do nothing.
I didn't say you.
Oh,
The person from Bankhead with money, according to you in this interview,
He
person from Bankhead with money paid someone from Johnson Road to shoot up Rich Homie Kwan's barbershop.
again, I'm talking to the police.
Okay.
Tate,
Right.
him going through it, him and Tate murdered each other. But you don't even know that Tate.
Right.
How y'all have a problem? But Tate missed the school, but
D Johnson.
and they feel like they do retaliation. Man, it ain't. But I couldn't say him because no matter how many times I tried to speak up Tate, he always had in his head, Tate did.
Right.
So like, man, y'all tripping, man.
So that's what that was about the other day.
I called Tate, you know. I was gonna ask Tate, but I had Tate put up on me like probably like Friday or Thursday or Friday. Tate pulled out like, hey bro, bitch on the corner got 25,000 on your head.
Why so much?
He
There's no need to
scared
jump.
of Tate.
Yeah.
He real scared, he's scared of Tate. So I said Tate, I'm like, bro, he trying to face my then Rich on the corner supposed to go and Kell. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling like that's what it is because the whole time you been having the money on Tate's head and he ain't do it. So when you going to demand out, that's what happened. That's on him. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't talked to Tate. So I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. But I knew Tate was messing with nobody. Tate started doing whatever he was doing. He just ran around and he trying to be a rapper.
Okay. So let's unravel. And I'm not saying, Mr. Copeland, please understand, I'm not saying that's the truth. I'm just talking about what you've told the police.
I told you, I told the police anything.
I understand. I understand that. Okay. But I'm just want to talk about what you said. I'm not saying it's the truth. In that story that you gave the police, you were saying that Rich Homie Kwan was convinced that Trevante Turner, Tay, shot up his father's barbershop.
What I'm saying is, you think I'm letting somebody hurt my partner? So if I'm having a conversation with Rich Homie and he trying to put some money on my friend, you think I'm gonna really have that conversation with him? It don't make any sense.
Okay, but can I finish my question? So what you told the police, not saying it's the truth, what you told the police is that you talked to Rich Homie Kwan and tried to convince him that Tay did not shoot up his father's barbershop because Rich Homie Kwan had $25,000 on his head, right? That's what you told the police.
Never put the police on what's going on. Mislead the police. That's my always the mindset.
I got you.
All right, you keep talking about what I told them.
I understand. I think we're all on the same page.
We can't be.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. Okay, let's play the next clip. DS24B, which is 378 Yankee Delta. It's from February 21st, 2015, from 4/12/10 to 4/16.
You playing the video?
Yes, thank you.
Not trying to resolve the problem at hand. problem is you gotta talk to her straight up. That's it. You gotta talk to her straight up. Because if you're not, it's just gonna continue and continue and continue. And I hate to see you or anybody else come up there behind the foolishness because everybody wanna be loyal to the streets. And
Rich Homie paid Kell to shoot Tay after he blew him up. They treat Tay over there. All on land out there hiding.
Not saying it's true. You told Investigator Gaither that Rich Homie Quan paid Shell Kell, to shoot Tay. Correct?
That's what I said.
Okay.
And then when Tay paused to pick somebody up. But when Tay paused and wait, get ready to call nigga come back out there, they started shooting. And then my so-called sister, not my mama child, not somebody on the northern, but go around telling folks that I shot a house up when she know the whole time they shit Tay up.
so,
You see what I gotta go through?
hold on, let me get this straight. You said Quan paid who? Kell to shoot at Tay,
The kill Tay.
to kill Tay. How much you paid?
They supposed to be 25,000.
Did he get it?
I told Tay before it happened. I told Tay come pull up on me. Tay pull up on me.
Mm-hmm.
I said, bro, look, bro. I love you there, bro. But you gotta get out of the way, bro. Bitch, on the corner, goddamn. He wants you dead, bro.
Why though?
Cause somebody tried to reach on the corner dead at the barbershop.
Right.
They think it was Tay.
Right.
Yeah, they think it was Tay. I don't think it was on the corner. It wasn't Tay.
Who was it?
I don't know. Then the crazy thing about it, they like as I was listening, they were speaking on it like it's supposed to be somehow bankhead with some money. I don't know who the nigga was, who he is. I never heard. I heard him say name, but I can't think of what it is. But I know if I was to hear it, I know. But he supposed to have paid somebody to do it. But I'm telling Rich on the corner like I know Tay ain't do that. You feel me? That ain't Tay. Tay not just gonna walk up and shoot nobody. So he like, what I'm telling you, it was Tay. I'm like, no, it wasn't. He like, man, I'm like, bro, no, it wasn't, but I'm not gonna lie.
All right. So in that interview on a different day, you're again talking about the shooting of the Rich Homie Quan's father's barbershop and of Rich Homie Quan's father, correct?
I'm listening.
Okay. And again, what you just said on that tape was someone from Bankhead with some money paid someone to do it, right?
Right.
Okay. So in two separate interviews, you told detectives that someone from Bankhead with some money hired someone from Johnson Road to shoot up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop. Rich Homie Quan's father's barbershop, correct?
I'm listening.
Is that correct? You said that in two different interviews. Okay. Now, the reality, Mr. Copeland, is once you are given immunity as a witness in this case, you testified in court earlier when Ms. Hilton was asking questions that it was in fact you and Trevante Turner who shot up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop, didn't you?
How many times we gonna go over this?
You and Trevante Turner, in fact, shot up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop, correct?
I'm listening.
The reality, Mr. Copeland, is the $25K on someone's head was completely made up by you, correct?
Right.
The reality is that somebody from Bankhead with some money, those details, somebody from Bankhead with money, that was completely made up, correct?
Right.
The reality is someone from Johnson Road being hired and you would recognize their name if you heard it. All that was made up on the spot, on the fly. in the mind of Kenneth Copeland, wasn't it?
Right?
That was you finessing. Just like Lil Mike and Quez were made up on the spot. The man from Bankhead with Money, the man from Johnson Road were made up characters.
I done told y'all 100 times I don't lie. You see right here, keep trying to throw it in my face. I don't admit it till I lied.
I'm not trying to throw it in your face, Mr. Copeland. I'm giving you an opportunity to come clean.
I thought I did that.
Okay. Are these the type of details? You remember when you talked about details make your lies more believable to the police? Lil Quez from Etheridge, Mike, or Lil Mike from Etheridge, Quez from Etheridge, man on Bankhead with Money, man from Johnson Road. I would remember his name if someone said it. Are those the type of little details that you add to your finesse to make it more believable to the police?
Something like that.
I'm going to move on to another topic, okay? Your Honor, may I approach the witness with DS-30? Mr. Copeland, I'm asking you to look at DS-30. Do you recognize the person on the right of that photograph?
On who right?
On your right.
Yeah,
That's Donovan Thomas, correct?
there's no.
Okay, you call him not. And in that photograph, is that a fair and accurate representation of Donovan Thomas? That's a picture of him, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and is he wearing a chain in that photograph?
look like it.
And that chain is in fact a peanut chain, correct?
I can't tell.
Well, okay, you're familiar with his chain, correct?
It's a peanut chain.
Thank you. Your Honor, I would move to admit DS-30 into evidence.
Admitted.
Mr. Kokomo, if you could publish that picture, please. Okay. Hanging from Mr. Thomas's neck is essentially what the Planter's Peanut Man. It's a chain of the Planter's Peanut Man. And that is Donovan Thomas's chain, and that is a chain that he owned in 2015, correct?
I guess.
And he owned it in 2014 as well, correct?
Shit, I guess.
You are aware that in late 2014, Donovan Thomas's chain went missing, correct?
Right.
Someone stole it.
If that's what you want to call it.
Okay. Do you remember on January 11, 2015, the day you went to talk to Detective Thorpe? Detective Thorpe asked you about your relationship with Donovan Thomas, right?
I'm listening.
Okay. Mr. Kokomo, could you publish DS-18A, which is States 378 Yankee Alpha, which is January 11, 2015, 3:14:23 to 3:14:36. It's just 13 seconds, if you could listen.
That I talked first, they said, why was I didn't do it. I never had, I'm with it. Ain't never had two words to each other. Me and that was always okay. You know what I'm saying? Only person I had a problem with was Kell. I always be with him. When we see each other, it's just when they be with him.
Okay, Mr. Kokomo, could you now publish DS 18B, which is from January
Yeah.
11th, 2015, 3:20:50 to 3:21:04 a.m.
So, we never had a problem with that. Never in life. Okay. Never cool. Okay. We just had a problem with Brother Kell. Yes. Describe Kell to me. Show you a picture.
Mr. Kokomo, could you publish DS 18C, which is from the same interview, same exhibit, 3:30:31 to 3:31:02?
I switched up on them, so I got you. Yeah, so they got the ass with you. But I know that they saying like, I just know it ain't gonna be over with. I did something. I know it ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to go to jail, I ain't trying to be dead, I ain't trying to go to nobody's funeral, I'm not none of this. Me and nothing ain't never had a problem. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, I put show it to you. A person come on my Instagram page and say, you gonna die tonight. They come on my picture and say, your Instagram? Yes. You gonna die.
And finally, Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS 18D, which is from the same interview, 3:41:50 to 3:42:45 a.m.?
I don't know what to do. Like, I didn't do it. Like, I'm lost. Like, right now, man, I really am, man. I'm scared. I'm lost. I always say, all at once, I can't even think, man. Like, I don't know what to do, man. I don't, man. Because my name come back and everything. I'll be the same with it. But now somebody's dead, and I just know, I know how it feels to lose one, you know what I'm saying? I lost my closest friend, you know what I'm saying? And now, these niggas, they show up at mama house and stuff like that, bro. Like, and it ain't even dead, it's a game. It's the whole clip, you know what I'm saying? They deep, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I put fear in my heart, because now I gotta watch out for everywhere I go. I have to watch out, and it ain't nothing I can do about it, man. I didn't have nothing to do with this. I didn't kill him. I didn't have him killed. I ain't never tried to fight him. I ain't never tried to rob him. I had never done nothing to nothing.
In that January 11th interview, you stated to Detective Thorpe on 4 different occasions that you never had any problem with Nut, that you and Nut were okay, correct?
I'm listening.
Okay. You specifically said, I've never tried to fight him. I've never tried to rob him. I've never tried to do nothing to Nut.
Right?
Okay, guys, I got good news for y'all. I'll tell y'all when we go on break.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask Mr. Kokomo to publish DS-21, which is States 378 Yankee Beta from 8/11/50 to 8/13/18. Hold on one second, Mr. Kokomo. And Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm going to ask a couple questions first. Going to your January 28th, 2015 interview. Well, in general,
Let's just get to your question. You want to know, did I take the change?
we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Not let's just get to your question.
We're going to get there.
So who questioning who?
But in 2014, Donovan Thomas's chain went missing, was stolen out of his car, correct?
Right.
All right. To people in hip hop, a chain is a very personal thing, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know that? Okay. Mr. Kokomo, if you could publish DS-21.
Like, and then, like, you would have somebody broke in that car and gave me the phone and the jury. Because when I realized I was ticket, you know what I'm saying? What the hell? Shit, nut shit. But I called him up. Hey, man, I got your shit right here. Pull up on me. He come pull up on me. But before I gave back to him, I already hit 10 minutes. And he was texting Kell like, come on, bro, I introduced you to these folks, bro. You just took them out. And he was like, he sent big paragraph and Kell just sent like, man, nigga, like, nigga, what else? You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I'm out here, nigga, you ain't doing it for me. Yeah. This one reading. You know what I'm saying? So nuts and big paragraph, more paragraph, more paragraph, more paragraph. Tell it, man. And I didn't say back, like, man, nigga, fuck you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But nut pull up. Don't want to, don't nobody know you. You know what I'm saying? Nut pull up. How many degrees? Man, nut got to shut up. Like, bro, here, your stuff right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He like, how you get it, bro? I ain't want to tell him. One of the young niggas on the video broke in his car.
Okay. In that story, you were saying that someone stole a chain from Nut, correct? The peanut chain.
Yeah,
And that person, and not only his chain, but his ID, his wallet, his phone, correct?
right,
And that person happened to give you Donovan Thomas's belongings.
right,
And you said, you told the police, you realized it was Donovan Thomas's chain. And you called Nut and wanted to return his stuff, right? And specifically, right before we paused it, you said you didn't want to tell Donovan Thomas who took it, right?
right,
You wouldn't want to tell Donovan Thomas who took it because Donovan Thomas is what some people might say is the big homie,
right,
right? He's a gang leader. You don't just take Donovan Thomas's chain and it's all cool, correct?
I don't know.
Well, that's why you wouldn't want to tell Donovan Thomas who took it, correct? You'd want to protect whoever took that chain. You wouldn't want Donovan Thomas gunning for that person for disrespecting his property, right?
Right.
Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS24D, which is states 378 Yankee Delta, which is from February 21st, 2015. And this is from 5:37:44 to 5:40:26.
But I was spying on that kid and kind of at night.
It's not playing.
So I'm pull up there one day.
Is it popped up now?
No.
You started again, Mr. Kokomo.
There you go.
But
Thank you.
I was spying on that kid in Canada at night. He told me pull up there one day. Somebody had one of my little punk broke in the car. Stole his chain, his phone, his ID, not his driver's license. And I gave it back to him. Like, you know, I got it. Man, it's nuts shit, nigga. Yeah. But I really thought he was gonna give me some back for it. I called him like, hey man, I got the shit, bro. Like for real, bro. Like yeah. Like where you at? I'm like, right here in Mechanicsville. I'm on my way to Mechanicsville. He like, all right, call me and get out there. So he called me back. I'm like, shit, I'm here, they waiting now. He's like, all right. So when I get out there, I call him. He like, pull up at 90 spot. Like, shit, I ain't got no ride now. I got dropped out like about 4. So I'm finna pull up with that. I like to pull it like, I got a pop on the player. He pull up, bag in, have me fit. She get out the car. Vic was in the car, like, what's up? I'm like, what's up, bro? She nut came, like, here you go, bro. You ready? Dap it up. I gave him that little shoulder thing. So when I gave him that, but I was spying on that kid in Canada at night.
Again, on February 21st, 2015, you're telling that investigator about your partner stealing from Donovan Thomas and then giving you the chain and the phone and the wallet, and then you returning it back to Donovan Thomas, right?
Right.
And you dapped him up and you and Donovan Thomas were all good.
Right.
January 11th, 2015, you repeatedly said you had no problems with Donovan Thomas.
Right.
January 28th, You talked about the chain. It was someone else that took it. You returned it to Donovan Thomas, wouldn't tell him who took it, but y'all were all good.
Right?
February 21st, 2015, you again repeated that story about one of your partners taking the chain, it ending up in your hands. You returned it to Donovan Thomas, you dap him up, you're all good.
Right?
Mr. Copeland, the reality is, late in 2014, you broke into Donovan Thomas's truck. Isn't that correct?
The door was open.
The reality is, you knew that was Donovan Thomas's truck. You know what he drove, right? You went into his truck and took his peanut chain, right? You knew it was Donovan Thomas's peanut chain, but you didn't care. You wanted to disrespect Donovan Thomas. You wanted to take his stuff. Isn't that correct?
It wasn't about disrespecting him.
The reality is, Mr. Copeland, that Donovan Thomas called his phone and you answered. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
The reality is, you knew that Donovan Thomas knew that you stole his stuff.
I ain't still.
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
The reality is that you knew you bit off more than you could chew.
What you mean by that?
Donovan Thomas was coming after you.
Objection, speculation. Based on the evidence, relevance.
Sustained.
The reality is, you made up this whole story about returning his chain, about your partner breaking in, and all the rest to try to throw Donovan Thomas off of your scent. Correct? But Donovan Thomas knew.
Objection, speculation. Vague.
Sustained.
When you told Detective Thorpe on January 11th, 2015, that you ain't never have no problems with Donovan Thomas, that you and Nut were cool, you never brought up the chain, did you?
For what?
When you said you ain't never tried to rob him, you ain't done nothing to Donovan Thomas, you never brought up the chain, did you?
That ain't robbery.
You and Donovan Thomas were far from cool. TIG stands for Think It's a Game, correct? Ms. Copeland, TIG is Think It's a Game, correct?
You know it.
Okay. That's a record label.
I guess.
That's a record label that Donovan Thomas was associated with, correct?
I guess.
It's run out of Summerhill
I don't know.
neighborhood in Atlanta. Mr. Bennett, also known as Lucci, wrapped under that label. Think It's a Game, correct?
I guess.
Okay. Think It's a Game had a studio on Metropolitan Avenue in Atlanta back in 2015, correct?
I guess.
You may.
Mr. Copeland, I'm going to ask you to look at DS31. Is that, do you recognize DS31?
Yeah.
Okay. That is the building that housed TIG Studios back in 2015, correct?
I guess.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that DS31 be put into evidence, be admitted as evidence.
All right, it's admitted.
That's the studio that Lucci went to make songs, correct?
I guess.
That's the studio that Donovan Thomas would be at, correct?
I guess.
That's the studio that Rich Homie Quan would be at, correct?
I guess.
Okay. You are aware that on January 8th, 2015, late at night on January 8th, 2015, the TIG Studios were shot up, correct? You know that, right?
I'm listening.
You are aware that Rich Homie Kwan's truck was struck by bullets on January 8th, 2015. His windshield was shot out, correct?
You don't know.
You're aware that Donovan Thomas was present at TIG Studios on January 8th, 2015. Isn't that true?
I don't hang up there.
DS22B, please, Mr. Kokomo. I would like to publish, Your Honor, DS22B, which is from January 28, 2015 interview, states Exhibit 378 Yankee Beta 7/24/39 to 7/25/06.
All right.
Like, it ain't dead, bro. You support these niggas, bro. So the more you support them, the more they gonna come out and do that. If you leave them alone, then everything gonna go away. Yeah. And you're like, bro, just protect me, bro. We need y'all, bro. I need y'all to protect me. How the hell we gonna protect you? You and these niggas out here doing it. Then you're like, so you shot my truck, bro. That side of the truck. Man, you been, you know what I'm saying? Man, you been a
You are talking to the police about Rich Homie Quan asking you if you shot up his truck, correct? In that interview.
That's what it just said.
Okay. I'm gonna put it on the screen.
like, no, I was you in there like this.
What did he have the 25 on to do? Say it, bro.
That's it. So, Rich Homie Quan questioned you about whether you were the person that was outside the TIG studio shooting up in that studio on January 8th, 2015. Isn't that correct?
You can't question me.
Beg the court's indulgence. Not talking about what you told the police. I'm talking about reality now. On January 6th, 2015, you were at Club Crucial.
I'm listening.
You were in possession of a large amount of money and you were showing off in front of a bunch of people that knew you, in front of a bunch of girls, correct?
I'm listening.
In front of all these people at this club, Kelvin Watts, Shell Kell, Donovan Thomas's brother, jumped you, correct?
I'm listening.
He tested you. He started punching you. Tried to take your stuff. He gave you a black eye.
He punched me in the back. He didn't hit me in he didn't face me off.
Okay. Well, you had a swollen face.
Cause another nigga hit me.
Okay. Who was with Kell?
What's up, bro?
He was with Kell, the other person that hit you?
Obviously, he went with me.
These men, Kell and his friends, tested you publicly in front of a bunch of people, in front of a bunch of girls, correct? They tried to run your pockets, right?
I'm listening.
Pardon my language, it pissed you off.
Just like you is.
Okay. 2 days later, on January 8th, 2015, you found out that Nut and Rich Homie Quan were outside the TIG Studios on Metropolitan Avenue, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got in that rented Infiniti and drove up to that studio, didn't you?
Your Honor, objection, assuming facts not in the evidence.
I'll allow it.
You took your gun with you. You stood outside the fence and you shot at TIG Studios. And you put a bullet in Rich Homie Quan's truck. Did you not?
You got proof?
Was Trevante with you when you went to the TIG Studios?
Do you got proof?
All right, we're going to change the subject, Mr. Copeland.
All right.
To your understanding, now you pled to the possession of a firearm case from 2021. You pled to that recently, or this year.
Say that again?
You pled to that case this year, correct? Earlier this year, the possession of firearm that you were interviewed about on October 27, 2021?
I don't know if it was this year or last year.
Okay, fair enough. To your understanding, you still have a pending matter in front of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, correct?
Shit, I ain't no telling. I don't know.
Well, you discussed it. You gave an interview with the Danza Project recently, right?
Right.
All right, and you discussed a pending matter where your understanding is you are charged with filing a false report.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, to your understanding, you're charged with false report of a crime and false statements, 2 felonies, correct?
Right.
And the allegation is that while you were at Fulton County Jail,
Relevance as to the specific conduct or the specific, an improper impeachment to the specific extrinsic evidence of the specific incident that occurred.
Okay, I can't really hear you very well, but I think we might need to approach about this anyway.
good then.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, may I approach
You may.
DS 27A and DS 27B?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland, could you just look at those two documents? Do you recognize those documents?
I seen it before, yeah.
Are those the arrest warrants taken out for you for false report of a crime and false statements that you believe are still pending against you?
Yeah.
Okay. And briefly, the allegation is that, well, Your Honor, I would move to admit DS 27A and DS 27B into evidence.
Yeah, we reject the admission of those two exhibits. You can ask the question, but exhibit, given, each of them exhibits.
They're admitted over objection.
Mr. Copeland, briefly, the allegations against you that you believe are pending are that you accused a jail worker or a deputy of spraying with OC spray at the jail.
Right.
And the deputies, the supervisors, reviewed the videotape from the jail and determined that the jail worker did not have OC spray on her and did not spray you with any OC spray in the jail. Isn't that correct?
Right.
Did you know that the state, while this trial was going on, dismissed that case against you?
I didn't know that.
Well, I brought you good news. May I approach with 27C?
You may.
Does that document say State of Georgia versus Kenneth Copeland?
I think.
Okay. That document indicates. May I approach?
You may.
Correct me if I'm wrong, does this document say the facts of this case have been reviewed, and although it appears that probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest, the decision of the district attorney at this time is not to prosecute the above named defendant? Is that what that says?
Yeah.
Okay. Says the reasons for this decision are as follows: prosecutorial discretion. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
the person whose name is on this document is Fonnie T. Willis, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That document does not indicate that your charges, your pending charges for false report of a crime and false statement, they don't indicate that those are dismissed forever, just for now, at this time, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And nothing in that document says we dismiss this case because we were wrong, Mr. Copeland's innocent. It said prosecutorial discretion, correct?
What they mean?
Okay. It means they just made the decision to do it.
All right, that we can strike that part. Ask your next question.
Isn't it true? And you just found out that this was dismissed today, but isn't it true that while you were on the state's witness list to testify in this case, the state was simultaneously, at the same time, prosecuting you for false statements and false report of a crime? Isn't that true?
Talk to me so I can understand.
They were calling you a liar at the same time that they were asking this jury to believe what you're saying. Isn't that true?
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about your immunity agreement with the state. They told you in that June 10th, 2024 meeting that you did not ask for, that any crime that you talked about, they were not going to prosecute you for, correct?
Yeah.
You can talk about shooting Rich Homie Kwan's dad's barbershop. You can talk about shooting Rich Homie Kwan's father. They're not going to prosecute you for those things, right? That's what they told you. That's the promise they made to you, correct?
Characterization of the evidence.
Sustained.
Is that your understanding?
Nothing I say can be used against me.
Okay. There's one exception.
If I say that I did, yeah,
Okay. The Donovan Thomas thing.
yes.
Mr. Copeland, you don't know any of these gentlemen back here to have a personal beef with Donovan Thomas, do you?
What you mean?
Back in 2015, you didn't know any of these gentlemen to have a personal beef with Donovan Thomas.
I never said I did.
Okay. The reality, Mr. Copeland, is you were the person who had a problem with Donovan Thomas. Isn't that correct? You were the one that broke into Donovan Thomas's car, correct?
So in facts, not in evidence.
Overruled.
You've admitted to it. You're the one that stole Donovan Thomas's chain, correct? Ms. Copeland, you're the one that shot up Donovan Thomas's friend, Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop in 2014, correct? You're the one that was going back and forth with Donovan Thomas's brother, Kelvin Watts, correct? You've called his brother a waste of space in October 2021, didn't you?
Mr. Copeland's not answering the question, so
Yeah,
he needs a
apparently
response.
Mr. Sharp doesn't care whether he answers or not, so it's fine with me. I mean,
fine
if
with
he
me
wants
too.
an answer, he can say that.
You called Kelvin Watts a waste of space in October 2021, didn't you?
And I don't think nobody walking earth would not agree with it.
You said that people would cheer if he died. Correct?
I will. Back in the days.
You've shot at Donovan Thomas's brother, Kelvin Watts, correct? You're the one who got jumped by Donovan Thomas's brother on January 6, 2015 at Club Crucial, correct? You, not any of these gentlemen. Right? And you're the one that shot up TIG Recording Studio on January 8th, 2015. Isn't that correct? Let me ask you something, Mr. Copeland. You were asked about the Green Store by Attorney Steele, right? The Green Store, you're familiar?
Yeah.
That's actually called Mommy's Grocery in Delhi on Glen Street, correct?
I guess.
Okay. You estimated that the driving time is 5 minutes. The truth is, to get from the Green Store to where Donovan Thomas was gunned down, you have to drive a couple hundred feet on Glen Street and take a right onto McDaniel, correct? That's how you get there, right over the tracks. The truth is, it takes less than a minute to make that drive. Isn't that correct? Mr. Kokomo, could you publish DS24F? This is February 21st, 2015, 378 Yankee Delta from 622:59 to 624:01.
I got somebody, but I don't know his name. He was there. He ill there. He called the night. Well, I forgot what day they got killed with.
And we're going to start it over, Mr. Copeland, because I didn't provide any context. You spoke on a gang meeting that the Bloods had about you on that Thursday before Donovan Thomas was killed, correct? Mr. Kokomo, could you play
I
DS24?
got somebody, but I don't know his name. He was. I got somebody, but I don't know his name. He was there. He ill there. He called the night. Well, I forgot what day they got killed with. It was a Friday night. It was a Thursday night. They had a barbecue. But a barbecue just about it was a blood meeting. Everything ain't blood meeting. Then the whole meeting was based upon me. They was all in there talking about this and this, talking about this and this. So the nigga Mo was on the phone. So Mo told everybody, all I need, every last one of y'all, whoever 90s scraps is, whoever that other nickname, supposed to kill me. They gave all them guns. The same night, they gave every last one gun. Say, treat me to a gas station and kill me. I forgot what else. But he called and told me everything, and he said, is this person a friend of yours?
The Bloods had a gang meeting on the Thursday before Donovan Thomas was killed, 2 days before, on the same day that you shot up TIG Studios. Isn't that correct?
I don't know what you're talking about.
In that statement to the police, you said that the whole meeting was based on me. Not them, on you. That Mo, from behind the wall, had put the green light on you. Not anyone else. He put the green light on you for what was going on with you. The guy who stole from Donovan Thomas. The guy who shot up the studio with Rich Homie Quan and Donovan Thomas in the studio that night.
Yeah, objection, Your Honor, is assuming facts not in the evidence and harassment of their witness.
Overruled.
You've told the police at that meeting, Donovan Thomas went whoop, approved of the orders to kill you. You told the police that the gang members handed out guns to younger people. And the plan was to trick you to come to the gas station. And the only reason you weren't killed is because someone told you about it. In January 2015, Donovan Thomas was coming after you.
Objection, speculation, again, assuming facts, not evidence.
Sustained.
Mr. Copeland, you're not the type of guy to back down, are you? No further questions.
All right. Okay, I know that the state is going to have redirect, but I think it's going to last longer than we've got for this evening. So we will come back on Tuesday of next week to finish up with Mr. Copeland. So Mr. Copeland, if you can be back here with us at 9 a.m. on Tuesday of next week.
You be blessed.
All right. Okay, so I am going to excuse y'all, except I'd like for you to stay after for a minute, if you don't mind. The rest of you, with the reminders to not discuss this case with anybody. Don't let anybody discuss this case with you. Don't talk about it amongst yourselves. Don't look at and in fact avoid any media accounts of this case or anybody involved in it, including anything on any kind of social media. Don't try to find out any information about the case or anybody involved in it from any source outside of what we all hear together in this courtroom. Okay, I want y'all to enjoy your long weekend and your holiday break, and I'll see y'all back on Tuesday. All right, and again, for the media, what we're about to talk about, I'm going to need y'all to turn off all of the audio and video for. Thank you.
I just don't like it. What's happening? I don't like the interaction between Woody and Shark. I don't like none of it. I'm nervous. Y'all feel okay with that? I'm not really mad. I'm just mad. Like, this is too much. End it now. Okay. All right. So now y'all understand why I'm upset. Okay. Yes. What is the problem? No, I like it. I like it, but I don't like it. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm just a little confused. Why is cameras off? That's it. That's it. It's not about. Hold on. Let me see. It's not about. I'm not mad at anybody, or I'm just mad at the whole situation. I'm mad because I want this to be over. I like the way that everything is, going so far, but I just want it to be over. It's just hearing all of this is so unfair to everyone. Yes, I'm sure they're talking about the juror because it's so close to 5 o'clock. Thank you. Yeah, y'all know I'm at the mall. That's what I'm saying. I'm just mad that I'm mad not at exactly anyone or what happened just now. I'm just mad. I want it to be over. That's it. I'm about to talk to him and see what's going on. I'm about to talk to him. It's not it, and like I tell him all the time, he has to understand that lies or truth, he got himself into this and he has to get himself out of it. But at the end of the day, when do we put all of this to the end, to the side, and move on? He's right here, so obviously he's okay. You okay, friend? But y'all, this is just ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Everybody is saying stay strong. It's just gone way too far. It's gone way too far. Way too far. For everybody's mental health and well being, it's way too far. And it should be over. It should have been over. Way too far. Way too far. Y'all, today was a day. I'm glad we got a long weekend. Yes, I agree with this. Leave him alone. They should not redirect. Please leave him alone. And this I agree with too. Leave him alone. Yes, Woody is fine. He's fine. It's just that this is just way too far. Way too far. I still blame the state for all of this. He should have been done. This should have been ended. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. No one is mad at anyone. It's just this should end. It's frustrating for so many reasons, guys. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back though. I'll be back tonight. I know I said that last night and I didn't come back, but I'll be back tonight for real. Bye bye.